Hello everyone. We are going to discuss the topic of factor leading to the rise of nationalism in India. But before starting the topic, let us understand what is nationalism. The nationalism means love for one's own country or nation or having feeling of oneness or belongingness while sharing a common culture, identity or past or customs or traditions. Now let us understand what are the factors that led the growth of nationalism in India. The first factor is the economic exploitation of British in India. Peasantry. The government levied heavy taxes on the land which made condition of farmer very poor. Artisans and craftsmen. By the following of policy of free trade, the British destroyed Indian textile and handicraft industry. While no import duties were levied on British goods entering in India, high duties were imposed on Indian goods to enter in Britain. This policy ruined the income of artisans and craftsmen in India and made them totally unemployed. Working class. The establishment of industries gave rise to the working class in India. The working class was exploited by factory owners who were generally Englishmen. Extremely low salaries were paid to the factory workers. Educated Indians. The educated Indians were not appointed to the high post as well as the salaries were very low. They were not given even chance of promotions. The second most important factor is repressive colonial policies of British. A Grand Delhi Darbar. A Grand Delhi Darbar was organized by Lord Lytton in Delhi in 1877 to proclaim Queen Victoria as Empress of India. A great famine also broke out in Bengal at that time. While millions of rupees were spent on the Grand Darbar, but nothing was done to help Indians suffering from famine. The Vernacular Press Act. The Vernacular Press Act was passed in 1878 by the Lord Lytton, empowered the government to confiscate newspapers if they print anything against British government. The act was later repealed by Lord Ripon. The Arms Act. The Arms Act was passed in 1878 by the British government. According to this act, no Indian could possess weapon without a valid license. However, the Europeans and Anglo-Indians were allowed to keep arms without a license. This caused resentment among the Indians. Reduction in the maximum age limit for appearing UPSC. The maximum age limit for appearing for the Indian Civil Services exam was reduced from 21 to 19, making it difficult for Indians to compete for the exam. The CP Ilbit Bill. The CP Ilbit Bill was passed in 1883 by Lord Ripon. This bill made political equality and allowed Indian judges to hear the cases of Europeans living in India. But due to protest of Europeans, this bill was taken back, which forced Indians to organize themselves for the national movement. The removal of import duties on British goods. The removal of import duties on the British goods harmed the interest of Indians and Indian industries. The Indian industry got destroyed totally by the removal of import duties on British goods from Britain, as well as Indian handicraft industries couldn't compete with the mill-made goods. The third and last important cause is socio-religious reforms. The introduction of Western education made the educated Indians realize the need to reform the society. As a result, socio-religious reform movements started in India. The abolishment of sati, the Widow Remarriage Act, were important legislation passed during this period. Efforts were also made by the educated and enlightened Indians to reduce caste inequalities and to end dowry system, parda system, female infanticides and child marriages. Raja Ram Mohan Roy was a great social and religious reformer. He advocated female education, and it was largely due to his efforts the practice of sati was declared illegal. Jyotiba Phule challenged the caste system and advocated the education of lower caste of girls. That's all in this discussion. In our next discussion, we are going to talk on early nationalists.